Welcome back to Bountiful Gardens. My name's Ike, and what if I told you that with just one tool, you can keep your herbs tasting delicious, your flowers reblooming, and your shrubs shapely for the new season? You probably guessed it, but I'm talking about pruning shears. Because the weather really starts heating up in June, your herbs are going to kick it into overdrive and start a process known as bolting. This is when the plant focuses on flowering and seed production, which is great for the plant, but not so good for flavor. When an herb begins the process of bolting, it takes its energy away from its leaves and forces it towards the flowers and seeds, which makes the leaves taste a little more bitter and the plant overall much more woody. So you want to trim the flowers off before this really starts happening. Other herbs like cilantro, parsley, and dill change their structure dramatically, so the leaves get thinner, more bitter, and the plant elongates, gets more stalky, focuses on all its flowers, and then produces coriander seeds. So some people actually plant cilantro in the back of their herb garden specifically to produce coriander seeds. I've set aside a couple basil here to start producing flowers so we can demonstrate how we're going to trim them. Now before we do anything, we're going to sanitize our clippers. This is just some 70% isopropyl alcohol. It's going to keep our clippers clean and keep our plants healthy. To trim bolting basil, you're going to want to find a new flower bud and head down the stem to the first grouping of leaves that looks really nice and lush. This is called the node, and you're going to want to trim right above there. One clean snip, and the plant is ready to focus on producing more flavorful leaves. For the best tasting herbs, this is a process you're going to want to repeat for oregano, thyme, mint, and sage. Now that we're done using our clippers in the herb section to prevent flowers, I'm going to show you how to use them to get even more flowers where you do want them. Your perennial garden. Just like with the herbs, we were trimming the flowers so they couldn't focus on producing seeds and could focus on their leaves. But with perennials that are finished blooming, if you trim the flowers, it'll focus on more flowers. I've put together a selection of perennials that could use a little deadheading. Things like coreopsis, agastache, hardy geranium, and dianthus. We're going to give them a little trim and push out even more blooms. Just like before, we're going to sanitize our shears beforehand. On plants like dianthus, I'm going to see where the flower buds are already spent, and I'm going to follow the stem down to where I can see some fresh buds. Like here, I'm going to trim right above that node so that the plant can focus on the new bud and force out even stronger growth. Same goes for this meadow sage. I can see that this center stem is very clearly spent with brand new buds on either end, so I'm going to follow the stem all the way to that node right there and give it a snip. Now it can focus its energy on these upper blooms. Coreopsis is a fun one for me. You just find these closed up spent buds, follow the stem of the flower all the way down, and give it a snip. And look at all these beautiful little buds that can now come out and be full flowers. Sometimes your perennials benefit from a much more dramatic cut, otherwise known as the Chelsea chop. This is when you cut your perennial at more of a third to even halfway down the plant. Works especially well with taller perennials like Joe Pyeweed or Aster and keeps them from getting too floppy as the season goes on. Controls their growth, lets them branch out more, and give you even more flowers. Just like with deadheading, I'm going to trim right above a node. With this Joe Pyeweed, I think I'm going to go about a third of the way down to where I can see some fresh growth coming out at that center node there. I'm just going to take my clippers and snip right above. With this aster, I'm going to take these leggier branches about halfway down to make them a little more cohesive with the rest of the plant. With my Chelsea chop, I like to stagger things by an inch or two to keep a more natural look. So this one I'm going just about an inch taller than the other one I snipped. The Chelsea chop is a great method for controlling the shape and bloom time of all sorts of perennials, especially taller varieties like ironweed, garden phlox, stonecrop, and Montauk daisies. Your perennials aren't the only thing you should be getting in shape right now. Summer is the perfect time to get your shrubs in shape. That way, when the fresh growth comes out through fall, it can harden off and be protected through winter. To maintain clean shapes, sort of like on this Faulkner boxwood, I like to imagine an invisible line from the bottom of the plant up to the apex and then follow that with my clippers. Then I'll move around the boxwood, repeating this process. I can do this pretty quickly at this point, but you want to cut in between the leaves so that you're not shaving the leaves in half. Brush your hand along the shrub to shake loose any odds and ends you might have left to trim. And there you have it. Now the plant can flush out beautiful new growth through the rest of the growing season and have a beautiful shape for the winter. This doesn't only work for boxwoods. All sorts of broadleaf evergreens like euonymus, yew, and even laurels can benefit from a quick shaping in summer. So what are you waiting for? Sharpen your shears, get outside, and improve every corner of your garden with one quick clip. Thanks for watching. As always, if you like this video, be sure to like it down below and leave a comment if you had any questions about the plants I trimmed or suggestions for videos in the future. And of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can see more videos just like this. Thanks, and happy pruning.